Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the L&S Customs Late Model Series. Tonight, these late models are taking on South Boston Speedway for some exciting short track racing. We're already seeing a lot of action here in practice. South Boston is a very difficult track, so if there's one race here on Intensity Broadcasting that you're tuning into, this has got to be the best one. It's going to be some awesome racing here at South Boston. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight, Atlee Atmanwees. I'm excited to call this one. Again, this should be a eventful one so far, coming from what we've seen in practice. It's looking like Shanna Harton is the fastest at the moment. In that 22 machine, they've got a 15.77 as their fastest time. Thomas Frisch in second with the 15.81, less than a tenth off of Shanna. We see Jesse Baker in third with the 15.81. David Sheets in fourth with the 15.84. And then Seth French in fifth with the 15.89. Top four less than a tenth off of each other. And then, if you look, let's see, and then top 11, they're all less than a second off of each other. So the field is very close. I think it's going to be some close racing. So let's get ready for this one. First of all, I got to thank the series sponsor, L&S Customs. L&S Customs is your one-stop shop for fabrication, paintwork, bodywork, and fixing any mechanical issues. They've been around since 2017 and are located in Prospect Hill, North Carolina. Make sure to visit their website at LNScustoms.com. And is spelled out, not the and sign. And tonight's series sponsor is North Meet South. This race is the North Meet South 80, and North Meet South Catering is here to help you with any of your catering needs. They are experienced in weddings, receptions, meetings, and parties, and they offer personal service and cater a menu customized to your wants and needs. And North Meet South also has a takeaway service which offers customers several meal options that can be taken home and warmed up after a busy day at work. Options include a meal for four, freshly made salads, homemade desserts, and keto meal options as well. So like them on Facebook to see the weekly menu. Their Facebook is North Meet South. It is published every Sunday for ordering and pickup the following Thursday at the location. And then you can visit their website at northsoutheats.com/index.html. I looked at their Facebook page to see what all food they have, and some of the food on there looks pretty delicious. So if you want them to either cater to your next big gathering or you just want to bring something after a long day at work, North Meet South is where you need to head. 30 minutes left in practice, and I think now is the time that we are going to do our two Mayhem Racing League member shout-outs of tonight's race. Starting off, your first member shout-out, he's been a member since 2020. We have Mike Durfee from Buffalo, New York. His sponsors include Speed Energy, the Buffalo Bills, HHI, the Libertarian Party, and Club Jerky. And his hobbies include ATVing, hiking, fixing problems that people don't want fixed. So there is Mike Durfee. And your second member highlight of tonight's race, he's also been a member since 2020, David Ankenbauer. His sponsors include Hendricks Home Improvements, the Carolina Pro Late Model Series, and Bayside. And his hobbies include camping, go-kart racing, and anything that burns race fuel. So looks like we have a racer on our hands in real life. Shout out to David Ankenbauer. And he actually just liked the stream right now. So thank you, David, for tuning in and checking us out here on Intensity Broadcasting. Qualifying is underway here at South Boston. We'll keep an eye on some of the drivers. We got Thomas Frisch on the screen right now. Dustin Olson is the first on the board with a 15.98 as his fastest time. He is topped by your leader in practice, Shanna Harton, with a 15.98. 15.82. That's now going to put Dustin Olson in second and RF Boyer in third. As I say that, Mike Durfee is able to get to third with a 16.02 as his fastest time. See, the rankings get shaken up a little bit when David Sheets gets to second on the board with a 15.92. Thomas Frisch with the 15.92. Man, the rankings are going berserk right now. Everybody's starting to get their times in. David Sheets improves on his second time with the 15.89. That's still, though, 700ths off of Shanna Harton's fastest time. Trevor Olson able to get a little bit closer with the 15.86, but not quite enough. Still 400ths off of Shanna Harton. That 22 is the car to beat right now. David Sheets settles into third with a 15.89. You got Brazo on track. He's slowing down. He got a 15.98. That's enough to put him into the top 10. He's starting in 8th. He falls down to 9th, though, because Jesse Baker is able to break into the top 10, or excuse me, the top 3 with a 15.88 as his fastest time. So that's 79 who we see on track right now. He gets to the top of the board with a 15.82. That 79 is looking fast. One of the only drivers that has been able to beat Shanna Harton was 0.5 faster. Or excuse me, 0.005 faster. That was how close those two were time-wise. Alan Warnecki, a new member in this league. He breaks into the top 3 with a 15.83. Only 100th off of your top 2. That's 72. Looking fast. And looks like he was turning some extra practice laps as well. Again, this is Warnecki's first race in the Mayhem Racing League. And if anybody wants to race in the Mayhem Racing League, then make sure to check them out on Facebook. They're a group. They have a Facebook group. And they've got 2 series, a Mazda Miata Mayhem series sponsored by Club Jerky. That's on Tuesdays. And then they have this series, the LNS Customs Late Model Series, on Wednesdays. Both of them are fun series to race in. So I recommend joining this league just like Alan Warnecki did, and you'll have some fun. Of course, you got to have iRacing. But it's a lot of good racing here in the Mayhem Racing League in both of their series. Now, everybody has set a qualifying time, so let's take a look at how our points situation is looking like after 2 races. We'll get it up right here. There we go. So right now we've got a tie for first between Thomas Eggleston and Sean Langton. Both of them won your first 2 races. And then after that, we have a tie for third between David Sheets and Jesse Baker. Both of them got second place in the first 2 races. And then we got Seth French in 5th right now. He's got an average finish of 8th. He's been running pretty well so far. So there you have it. That is your point standings. And if you did not tune into last week's broadcast, here's what you missed. We raced at Concord Speedway last week. We had 10 cautions, a little bit of a wreck-filled race. Those 10 cautions accounted for 48 of the 120 laps. And we saw Thomas Eggleston, man, he led only 1 lap, and that was the final one, the one that counted. He had a great race, able to avoid a lot of the incidents and keep it up front. David Sheets got second, and Sean Langton took third. We are now currently gridding for your 100-lap feature event. And let's take a look at your starting lineup. Starting on the pole in the 79 of Jesse Baker with a scorching time of 15.817. He's starting on the pole outside of him. We have Shanna Harton from the Great Right North in P2. Alan Warnecki is going to be starting in third outside of him with Flat Out Racing. It's Trevor Olson in fourth. And then with Sheets Racing, it's the 06 of David Sheets. Rounding out your top five, we got Thomas Eggleston in the 78 starting sixth. Thomas Frisch in the 77 starting seventh. Anthony Romeo in the 88 starting eighth. David Guarino ninth. And then Seth French starting in P10, rounding out your top 10 in the 54. Also from Canada, we got Greg Brazo in the 11. Dustin Olson with Flat Out Racing starting 12th. He is the number 12. 13th is going to be Mike Durfee, who's in the 13. What in the world is going on here? The driver starting 14th, Sean Langton, is not the 14. He's the number 7 from California. And then rounding out your top 15, we have R.F. Boyer in the 20. 16th, we got the 09 of Keith M. Graham. 17th, one of your member spotlight drivers, got David Ankenbauer in the 08 starting 17th. 18th is going to be Charlie Hamilton Jr. 19th, Ron Weasley Jr. And then we got 20 cars starting in this field. Jordan Duran's will be starting in the back in that 48. So, wow, that's a big field. 20 cars make up these super late models. I'm excited for this one. Again, Jesse Baker starting on the bottom, Shanna Harton on the top. Getting ready for some good racing. We're going to take one more lap around, and while we do that, let's take a look at your race info presented by North Meets South. Right now, 78 degrees Fahrenheit, 55% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 2 miles per hour wind speed. Track temperature is a little bit warmer at 79 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are in South Boston, Virginia, my home state, and South Boston is 0.37 miles long. A short track, one of the shorter tracks on the schedule here in the Mayhem Racing League. We are off. Green flag is out here at South Boston Speedway. Jesse Baker already getting clear of Shanna Harton. We see Alan Warnecki moves into the second spot, and Shanna Harton trying to hang on for third. We see David Sheets knocking on that 22's back bumper. David Sheets is currently side by side with Trevor Olson for fourth at the moment. Olson on the top had the nose, but then looks like Sheets gets a good run and gets clear and takes that fourth spot. Now we see Frisch, Thomas Frisch, looking low under Trevor Olson, and the two make contact a little bit. Everybody's able to save it, and we keep on racing here at South Boston. Jesse Baker keeping it in the lead, but Alan Warnecki is starting to get closer and closer to that back bumper of the 79, trying to set up the pass. We'll continue to watch that 72 of Warnecki. He's still about 0.3 off of Jesse Baker. Field starting to get spread out a little bit. We do see Thomas Frisch trying to track down David Sheets for fourth. We saw Frisch get by Trevor Olson earlier, trying to keep that momentum. Gets all the way up there to that back bumper of the 06. Down hit the wall there, and he's going to send it in turn 4, and makes contact with the rear quarter panel of the 06. That's going to bring out your first caution of the race here at South Boston, and we'll take a look at the wreckage replay and find out what exactly happened in that incident. So here they go. Looks like Frisch was going to try to make the pass here in 3 and 4. See, the 06 of David Sheets actually seems to get a little bit squirrely. And I guess the 77 of Frisch wasn't expecting on coming up on him that fast, and just gets right into the back of Sheets. Sheets goes around. We see 42 of Olsen able to avoid getting hit. So does Guarino. So that was just a racing incident. We got some drivers on pit road. Thomas Frisch and David Sheets. And while we're under caution, let's take a look at your race info right now. First of all, these drivers have unlimited tire sets in this race and one fast repair. Lights on the pace truck have gone off. I do think that the drivers who went onto the pits might take some tires already, get a little bit of an advantage over the rest of the cars here. But we're getting ready to go back green here. Lights on the pace truck have gone off.
All right, man.
There we go. Green flag is back out. Jesse Baker takes off, but Alan Warnecki gets a fantastic restart. Able to get ahead of Baker, and then Warnecki tags the wall, and we have a caution coming out. I don't know if it had to do with someone jumping the start or if since Warnecki made contact, but we currently have a caution out. So we'll get a full evaluation here of this replay. So we see Jesse Baker takes off. No leaders control the restarts. Able to get clear of Warnecki. Warnecki's got Harton and Olsen behind him. Olsen is right there on his Warnecki's back bumper. Already the caution comes out. So yeah, it looks like, I don't know, doesn't seem like somebody jumped the start. Let's see, did anybody else? Let's see. Oh, there's like a pileup. I'm not sure what happened. Really not sure. We'll just call it a debris caution, but we are back green flag racing. Jesse Baker able to take the lead, and he's got a decent gap over Alan Warnecki at the moment. Trevor Olsen is in third. We see Anthony Romeo in fourth, and Shanna Harton is in fifth. Now, Alan Warnecki, he's under attack from Trevor Olsen right now. Olsen got all the way up to the back bumper of that 72. He's right there. He could make a pass at any moment. Warnecki just trying to hold him off, looking at that rear view mirror, trying to hold him off. Running a low line, a defensive line to try to fend off that 42. Right now, both of them are running very similar times. Something happens. Olsen's actually getting into the wall a little bit, and that's allowing Warnecki to extend his gap a little bit. Here comes the damage 7 of Sean Lacton. We see a car fly into pit road behind them, but a damaged Sean Lacton flies right by your outside pole sitter. Sean Langton into 6th right now in the Talladega Nights themed car. He's trying to get up there to David Guarino for 5th, trying to get into the top 5 right now. I'm surprised. I mean, the damage isn't affecting him. Of course, this is a short track where aerodynamics does not mean that much more, less than, say, a mile and a half or a short track. And he's reeling in Guarino fast for that 5th spot. He's already getting to the back bumper. You can see it come into the frame here for Guarino. That's 68. Better look out. Langton is coming in fast. Langton, so far in the first 2 races, has 2 top 3s. Got 1st in one, 3rd in another. We know he's fast. Looks like he may have gotten involved in one of the previous incidents, though. That's why he has the damage. He is not letting that affect him. Field's actually starting to get spread out. We're looking to try to get a good green flag run. And as I say that, we see Mike Durfee spin a little bit. He's able to get it back going, though. That is good, but he loses a lot of spots. One of your member shout-out drivers of tonight's race. Let's hope he can rebound and get back up through the field. Look back at Sean Langton trying to get up there to Guarino. Once again, setting up the pass. Guarino, though, doing a good job holding Langton off, but, oh, we saw him gain a little bit there. In the turns, that 7 of Langton is getting all the way down on the apron. They're coming up on Anthony Romeo as well. This is going to be a battle of 3 now. So we'll watch right now. Guarino's peaking low under Olsen, or excuse me, Romeo. He's getting there. He's about got to the rear quarter panel. See Eggleston also joining the show. He sends it in 3 and 4 right into the rear quarter panel of the 88. He gets around in the caution flag, comes out, but I don't know. Might have saw something different. We'll take a look at the replay. Not sure. So we see Guarino sees this as a chance to try to take the lead. 88 was up a little bit high. And oh, looks like the 68 washes up the track a little bit and then right in to the 88 of Romeo. Sean Langton does a fantastic job of avoiding the wreck. So does Thomas Eggleston. Woo! Barely missed getting hit right there. Oh, and then Eggleston slides up right into Guarino. Man, this was a crazy incident. See Thomas Eggleston, Mike Durfee, Greg Brazo all going into the pits. I know Eggleston trying to get that damage fixed, and I know Durfee, Brazo, they may be getting some tires. Let's take a look at your pit strategy. We're still early in this race, but doesn't hurt to check how it's looking right now. Your top 10 pretty much, except for Frisch, who is on 23 lap tires compared to 31 lap tires. So far, I mean, your top 10 are still on old tires. Nobody's went into the pits yet except for Frisch, but he's on 23 lap tires. We'll see how much of a difference it's going to make for that 77. Watch to see if he makes his way up through the field here on this next restart. Getting ready to go back. Oh, actually, no, I'm mistaken. Lights on the pace car, they're still off. So we continue to pace here at South Boston. Let's take a look at your biggest mover. Right now, your biggest mover of the race is Jordan Durans, who is in the top 5 right now in that 48 machine. He started in the back to start this race. He's been able to avoid most of the wrecks and make his way up to the field, and here he is right now in the top 10. Watch out for that 48 of Jordan Durans. We're getting ready for this restart. Jesse Baker restarting on the bottom. Alan Warnecki on the top. There goes the pace truck pulling in, and we are back. Green flag racing here. We see Jesse Baker gets a good restart, and here comes Trevor Olsen looking low under Warnecki. Olsen got to about the rear quarter panel of the 72, but Warnecki eventually gets clear, and now that 72 is trying to get by Jesse Baker for that top spot. So far, Jesse Baker has led this race from flag to flag, but could Alan Warnecki be your second leader of the race? We'll watch and find out. Right now, Warnecki trying to set up the pass. He actually got a good run on Baker in turns 1 and 2. Jesse Baker trying to increase that gap. He does a little bit. Here we continue to watch Jordan Duran's make his way up to the field. He's passing Ankenbauer right now for that 6th spot. They're side by side. 3 wide. Got the 09 of Keith Graham is there. Romeo, we saw some contact between them. Goodness, this is some tight battling going on. Now Durant is trying to get by Romeo. They're beating and banging side by side. Yeah, caution comes out. That was, whew, some crazy racing. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that, I mean, we were 3 wide, and it's kind of hard to do that on a short track considering how narrow everything is. So here we're watching 09 of Keith Graham. He was side by side with Frisch. He's got a little bit of damage already. That might mean he's a little bit slower. He was outside of David Sheets. And he just moves down the track right into that 06. I don't know if he thought he was clear. That might have been the case. Spotter could have said you're clear, but he really wasn't. iRacing spotters can sometimes be unreliable. See, the 22 gets involved. That's pretty much it. Oh, we see the 12 of Dustin Olson get involved as well. That is a shame there for everyone involved. Uh-oh. We see your leader, Jesse Baker, coming into the pits. Ron Weasley does. Ankenbauer, Shanna Harton, Romeo, some of them going in to get damage fixed and some of them going in to get tires. We know that Baker is going in to get tires. But Alan Warnecki, he stays out. He says, I don't think I am going to head in. That strategy could play out for Jesse Baker in the long run, or it could play out for Warnecki in the long run, staying out or going in. It's strategy can definitely play a big part in these long, short track races where tires play a key role. So let's look at your pit strategy right now after we saw all those people go in. Your top 4 still are on old tires. We see Frisch in the top 5 is on 35-lap tires. I'd say those are considered decently old tires. He'll probably come in soon. We see Olsen on old tires still. Brazo, Durfee, Eggleston, and Hamilton, who make up the rest of your top 10, they're on fresh tires. So watch that 012 of Brazo and the 13 of Durfee try to make their way up through the field. And I think they also have clean cars as well. And then, of course, you got to watch out for those drivers with fresh tires. Guarino, Baker, Romeo, Ankenbauer. They're going to be coming up quick through the field, I'm pretty sure. So we're getting ready to go back green here. Alan Warnecki restarting on the bottom. Trevor Olson on the top. All right, pace car pulls in, and green flag is back out here at South Boston. Great restart for Trevor Olson. He was able to stick with Alan Warnecki, and he's right up to that back bumper of the 72, and we see a car into the side, the inside wall. That was a short green flag run. Ouch, and whoever just wrecked there, that looked like it hurt a little bit. Hopefully he is okay. Just kidding, this is virtual. If this was real life, I would be a little bit worried. Got that 12 of Dustin Olson. Got a good restart. I mean, he was up front. Little bit of damage on that machine. I believe he got in one of the previous wrecks. And right in turn 1, we see him get a little bit squirrely. That slows him down, and we see Brazo gets a good run. Continuing to get squirrely. Brazo just, I don't think he was expecting the 12 to slow down so much, and he gets into him. We see Thomas Eggleston get some damage as well. Here comes the 28 trying to make it through on the high side. Man, that is a shame for all involved right there. See people going in. Dustin Olson, David Sheets, Mike Durfee, Anthony Romeo. They're going to go in, get some fresh rubber and potentially also get some damage fixed as well. I don't know who's going in for damage, who's going in for tires. I feel like if you're going in for damage, you might as well take tires as well, considering you have unlimited sets of tires. I know track position is a big thing, but I mean, if you already got in a wreck, lost a bunch of spots, why not go in and take the tires? Right now, let's take a look at your pit strategy. Still top 4, nobody went in. Warnecki, Olsen, Langton, and Durans. Frisch on 41 lap tires. I mean, even though it's fresher than the top 4, I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. Thomas Eggleston, Charles Hamilton Jr., they're on 18 lap tires. Pretty fresh tires, but a little bit of wear. I'd say the drivers that you're going to need to look out for are Jesse Baker, Ankenbauer, and Guarino. They have 8-lap tires. They're not even at 10-lap tires yet. They're going to be coming in hot to your leaders. Especially watch out for Jesse Baker. He led the first few laps of this race. We're going to continue pace, and we're having a single file restart here. Green flag is back out. This will spread out the field a little bit. Nobody got too much of an advantage on the restart, and already the field is starting to spread out a little bit. We see, wow, Jordan Durans closes in on Sean Langton quick for that 3rd spot. Durans, your biggest mover of the race, started in the back, and he's made his way up through the field. Very impressed by that number 48 machine, but he's got Thomas Frisch in that 77 knocking on Duran's door. Frisch has a little bit fresher tires. I do not think, though, it's going to make that much of a difference. Looks like Jordan Durans actually just ran his fastest lap of the race, but oh, we see Thomas Frisch was looking low, trying to make a pass, and he tags the inside wall. We're over halfway through this one. Frisch able to save it, keeping it on that back bumper of Jordan Durans. We do see a battle brewing up front. Here comes Sean Langton trying to get by Trevor Olsen on the top. We see Olsen get a little bit squirrely. Langton came up on too fast. That 42 is extremely loose. He's going to let the 7 of Langton to look low under him, and he's making the pass. They're side by side. Langton gets to the door, beating and banging. This is some tight racing here. And Langton able to get by Trevor Olsen. Olsen with the crossover. They've gotten the lap traffic. This is crazy right now. Olsen looking back low. They continue to beat and bang. This is for the 3rd spot. Neither of these drivers have gotten a top 3 all season. This would be big for their point standings. Ah, we see a lap car on the top. And the battle continues. We see Langton is actually also starting to reel in Alan Warnecki for 2nd place. Actually, no, I forget. Warnecki is in the lead. My bad. Still thinking that Jesse Baker was in the lead, but Warnecki, bet he's starting to peek in that rear view mirror a little bit. Looking to see, where he is right now. I bet he's going to start running a little bit of a lower line, trying to play defense on that 7. Gap increases between those two a little bit. Here comes Frisch trying to get back up there to Trevor Olsen. These two were side by side for a little bit. The battle they let off each other for a little bit. And now Frisch is trying to come back in, setting up that pass. He's going to take it to the low side. He got pretty much to the rear quarter panel of that 42 machine. Looks like Frisch is actually blinking a little bit. Let's hope that doesn't pose a problem for that 42. There goes Frisch looking low. They're side by side. Frisch knows that he's got to try to make a pass fast. He's got Jesse Baker. I think Jesse Baker's going to try to follow behind Frisch. and look under, and we see caution come out right when Jesse Baker was trying to make the pass. Whew! That was some tight battling going on, but we can take a breath as we look at your wreckage replay. We're watching Thomas Eggleston right now. Eggleston was about mid-pack, got a little bit of damage on the right rear. Doesn't seem to be affecting him too much, considering, I mean, he was in mid-pack, doing pretty good. And then we see the 09, Keith Graham, he was a lap car, get squirrely in front of Eggleston. And we see Eggleston slows down, trying to figure out, hey, what am I going to do? He looks low, tries to get under him, but it wasn't quite enough. Had nowheres to go except for right into that 09. Man, you hate to see it for those two. Looks like nobody else got involved. But still, that is a shame for those who did get involved right there. See a flood of people going into the pits. Trevor Olson, one of your leaders. We see Jordan Duran's going in. Sean Langton went in. A lot of the leaders going in, but see Alan Warnecki, he stays out, continuing to stay out. I don't know if he's going to try to stay out for this entire race. When is that 72 going to come in? We'll have to wait and see here at South Boston. Look at your pit strategy right now. See how we're looking on tires and such. So looks like Alan Warnecki, your leader, is the only driver who hasn't came in and pit yet. Frisch is on a little bit fresher tires than Warnecki, but he's still on old tires. So your top two on old tires. We see Baker, Guarino. I mean, they're on decently fresh tires. 27 laps behind them. Got a little bit younger tires, 21 and 20 for Brazo and Durfee. 26 for Weasley, but I'd say the drivers you got to look out for are going to be Langton, Olson, and Durans. They are on the freshest of fresh tires, and they're going to be coming up quick through the field, so watch out for 9th and 10th. They're going to be coming up quick here. Watch out. Here we go. Getting ready to go back green. Pace truck pulls in. We see Alan Warnecki takes off here on the restart. We actually saw a little bit of contact there. Thomas Frisch right on the back bumper of that 77. Let's see what he can do. Trying to set up the pass. Almost running right on that apron. He's actually touching the apron. Jesse Baker. Decently fresh tires. He's right on these two's back bumper trying to make a pass. He's got a little bit of rear end damage on that 79, and oh no! We got a caution. Looks like this was about mid-pack. We're watching David Ankenbauer right now. When you remember Spotlights, he was side by side with Jordan Durant. Jordan just got some fresh tires trying to make his way up through the field. And looks like that 48 of Durant's actually washed up the track a little bit, right into that 08 of Ankenbauer. And then the two make contact. Ankenbauer into the inside wall. Both of them getting significant damage, and oh no! Oh! That 22 machine of Shanna Harton gets major damage. Shanna flipping! Goodness! Let's go ahead and take a look at the inside cockpit cam of Shanna Harton on this one in real time, just to see how crazy it looked from that 22's perspective. Whew. I'm sorry for any photosensitive viewers. But, man, that was crazy. So we are back under caution at South Boston Speedway. So we got a few drivers: Jordan Duran, Shanna Harton, Ankenbauer, Charlie Martin, Keith Graham, Anthony Romeo, Seth French, David Sheets, all on pit road right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at your pit strategy once again. Warnecki still only driver to have not came in yet. Frisch on old tires as well. Baker, Guarino on decently old tires. Brazo, Durfee on old tires. Langton, Sean Langton, and Olsen are on fresh tires. Weasley's on fresh tires. 7th through 9th, watch out for them. They didn't get too much of a chance to make their way up to the field, so they're going to try it again here on this next restart. Warnecki restarting on the bottom, Frisch on the top. See if we can get a good green flag run here. Pace truck pulls in. We are back green here. Less than 25 laps to go here at South Boston. Side by side, here comes Frisch on the outside. That's 77. Got a great restart. And I don't know, though. We haven't really seen too many people make a pass on the outside. He washes up a little bit, and that's going to allow Jesse Baker in that 79 to look low for second place. Jesse Baker on fresher tires than the top two. Baker to the door right now of Frisch. Side by side. Make a little bit of contact. And he's able to get clear. Yep, so a new driver in second place, Jesse Baker. And we got a caution coming out. So we'll take a look at your wreckage replay, see exactly what went down there on that replay. So I got Durfee involved in that one. Here we go. Mike Durfee, he was up front, side by side, running with, that's the 42 of Trevor Olsen. Olsen on pretty fresh tires. And then, see behind them, we got Thomas Eggleston. Oh, and the 13 of Durfee just gets a little bit loose off of 4. Eggleston makes a little bit of contact on that rear end of Durfee. Anybody else? He's on the center of the track. Looks like everybody else was able to avoid it, which is good. Man, that is a shame for Mike Durfee, who was running up front. We are back under caution here at South Boston Speedway. We're in the waning portion of the race here. Not a lot of laps left, and still Alan Warnecki is in the lead. Only driver that is on the tires that you started in. Everybody else running on those fresh tires. I'm not sure how much of a difference these older tires are making. I'll have to look at some of the times when we get back green flag racing. But he's got to look out. Jesse Baker, who's behind him, he's on pretty fresh tires. Older than some of the other drivers, but still, I'd consider them fresh tires. Right now, he's on 83 lap tires. That's what Alan Warnecki is running right now. Jesse Baker on 42, Frisch on 75, Guarino on 42. Top 4 on decently old tires. Right now in 5th, we got Sean Langton, 18 lap tires. He's in the top 5. That 7 is going to be making his way up through the field fast. Watch out for him. But we're getting ready to go back green here. Lights on the pace truck, they've turned off. So here we go. Pace truck pulls in. Green flag is back out. We see Warnecki take off, but we're side by side for the lead. Jesse Baker is hanging right there on the outside, able to get to the rear quarter panel of Warnecki. And oh, we see some contact. Here comes Frisch diving it down on the bottom, trying to get by Baker for second. They beat and bang. Trading paint right now. Baker trying to get back up there on the outside. We haven't seen many passes get made up there on the high side, but I don't know, can Baker do it? Or will Thomas Frisch get by? And oh no, Jesse Baker tags the wall. That's going to give Frisch a little bit of momentum. They still beat and bang. Almost getting clear is Thomas Frisch. He moves up and gets clear. So a new driver in second place, Thomas Frisch. Jesse Baker, though, staying right on that 77's back bumper. Frisch now trying to track down Alan Warnecki for the lead. Here comes Jesse Baker coming back. Trying to take second place back. Right to the back bumper. He's there trying to set up the pass. Getting all the way down on the apron. Thomas Frisch trying his best to play defense right now. 10 laps to go for your leader, Alan Warnecki. He's got about 3 car lengths between him and second place. In these final 10 laps, I know Alan Warnecki is just trying to drive as perfect as he possibly can. Try not to make a mistake that'll give somebody else the lead here in the waning portion of this race. Jesse Baker right there. He's continuing to look low. I wouldn't be surprised in the next couple of laps if he tries to send it here. The gap is actually increasing between these two. We do have Trevor Olson trying to get up there to Guarino, trying to get into the top 5. Olson looking low. He seems to have the faster car, getting about to the rear quarter panel of that 68. Ooh. He's there, about to the left rear tire. Had to avoid some lap traffic, and we take a look back up front. Right now, Thomas Frisch has got 5 laps to try to take the lead from Alan Warnecki. Can he get up there? He's looking low. Right on the back bumper, running on the apron. He is probably driving it as hard as he possibly can. He got right about to the back bumper if he wanted to. He got slammed right into that 72. 3 laps to go now. Oh, Jesse Baker about made contact. This is getting interesting. We see Frisch letting Warnecki know, hey, I'm here. Might see him try to do the 1-2-3 modified rule. See him bump him again with 2 laps to go. Does Frisch have what it takes to take the lead here in the final portion of this race? See Jesse Baker under attack from Sean Langton, but we're focused on the lead right now. Last lap. Can Frisch try something to take the lead? No, Alan Warnecki able to take the lead. Jesse Baker was there, but he couldn't quite take second. So your 3rd new winner of the season, Alan Warnecki, first ever race in this league. He takes the victory at South Boston Speedway. What a race. He stayed out for this entire race, didn't come in to take tires. That ended up paying off for him. We're getting ready for him to burn it down. See Eggleston driving by with a little, hey, congratulations. Get your rest of your top 3 stopped on the front stretch. And Warnecki burning it down. Oh no! Into the outside wall. He's just going to stop right on the bottom of the track. There we go. He's back going. See some more drivers driving by, giving Warnecki a little congratulations. And we are starting to get, there we go, we're starting to get the top 3 into the broadcasting booth. So let's start off by talking to third place Jesse Baker. Jesse, got a copy?
Got you there.
Awesome. Well, started the race on the pole, had a very, very fast qualifying time. You were up front for pretty much the majority of the race, and you were leading, and then you came into the pits, got some fresh tires, were able to make your way up through the field, and eventually you were fighting for second place with second place Thomas Frisch right there, and you were a couple hundredths off him in the end, but still ended up finishing in that bronze spot. I mean, from your perspective, what all went down here at South Boston?
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to make it on fuel there, but seeing Alan did, I should have never even went in.
Right, we saw a lot of strategy come into play here. I mean, coming into this race, I know you had a strategy for a lot of things. I mean, how did it play out for you?
Yeah, it didn't play out too good for me. I practiced on this racetrack probably 3 times this week, just tried to get the strategy down, and still didn't work out for me. I should have just kind of rolled around there and just saved the fuel, but you know how it goes when you're racing. There ain't no saving sometimes.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I'm a racer myself, and I know what you mean. So, still, third place, still pretty good finish. I mean, there's only a family member shout-out sponsors you want to thank before I let you go?
My wife for putting up with it, every time I do it, and no sponsors yet, so.
Well, hopefully in the future, if you keep putting up good performances like that, you maybe get some sponsors on that 79. So congratulations on third place. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. Thanks for broadcasting it too.
Definitely have fun doing it. Now let's go ahead and talk to second place Thomas Frisch. He's in the booth right now. Thomas, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Well, you were one of the bigger movers in this race. Started the race in 7th, and you were able to avoid most of the wrecks. You got into an early wreck and went in, got some damage fixed, and got some tires. And after that, you saw you make your way up through the field, and eventually you were up front there in the end because you were on older tires and you didn't go into the pits, and that ended up working out for you. You were able to stay in the top 2, and you ended up finishing in second. Strategy just ended up coming into play for you. So just give us a little rundown. What was your take on this race here at South Boston?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Like you said, I started in 7th. I tapped the wall on my fast lap in qualifying. Didn't get what I wanted out of it. Um, yeah, that early wreck, I don't know what that person was doing. I don't remember who it was, but they backed out right in front of the field. I believe it was a 22 that they hit, and I just couldn't check up in time. See, I had to pull it down into the pits. I just put in fuel. They lifted the right side, but they dropped it. Decided not to put tires on it, and just ran through the field as best as I could.
Did you enjoy the setup in the track here at South Boston?
Yeah. Car felt actually pretty damn good the entire race. Just final 10 laps there. Just got too loose, couldn't do anything. I caught the 72, tried to give it the bumper, but it was ultimately too loose for me to turn underneath them.
Got you. Well, still, second place, pretty good finish. I mean, is only a family member shout-out sponsors and to thank for you?
I'm gonna shout out my sponsors here. Dennis Farms, Farming Simulator Modding. You can catch them on Facebook. Facebook is facebook.com/Dennis Farms. Lazy Jam Cattle and Inked Girls Designs.
Gotcha. Well, congratulations on the runner-up finish. Have a great rest of your night.
All right, thank you.
And then last but not least, the man of the hour, your winner, got Alan Warnecki in the booth. Alan, you got a copy?
I got you, Allie.
Awesome. Well, what a race for you. I mean, started the race on the second row on the bottom, and with some wrecks happening to the driver on the outside pole, you were able to make your way into second. And then eventually when Jesse Baker moved into the pits, you were able to inherit the lead and stayed out the entire race, and that ended up being a good strategy for you. It ended up playing in your favor, and eventually you were just able to hold everybody off and take the victory. What was your take on this race here at South Boston?
Yeah, the first two things you mentioned were probably the biggest two, were the cautions to get me there with the fuel mileage and staying on the bottom and just trying to hold it down. After about lap 30, I started saving fuel under caution, shutting the car off. So I don't know exactly how much that saved, but I ran out one lap after checkered. So
it looks like you did a good job saving, ended up working in your favor. So do you think that was what separated you from the rest of the driver, was your saving strategy?
absolutely, I was saving tire just so I didn't get run over. But saving fuel is the biggest deal. I didn't have to worry about wrecking cars or passing cars. Passing here is not easy.
Right, track position definitely plays a big role here at South Boston, but still, awesome race. Got asses and a family member sponsor shout outs you want to thank before I let you go?
No sponsors. Shout out to my family for letting me play this goofy game, and to Thomas for racing as clean as he can on a short track without wrecking somebody. So I appreciate it. Shout out to Intensity Broadcasting and you, Allie. You guys do a great job.
Appreciate it, and we definitely have fun announcing this league here. So congratulations on getting the win. Was this your first race in the league?
This is my first race in the league. I was watching the stream last week, and I love these cars, and it's tough to find a league, and thankfully they were kind enough to let me join.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations getting your first win in your first race here in this series. Have a great rest of your night.
Sounds good. Thanks, Allie.
What an awesome race here at South Boston. We actually do have someone in the Twitch chat saying, how do I join this league? Well, you actually got to contact them on their Facebook page, and I can actually, hold up just a second, I can actually get you the link to the Facebook page. There you go, Caden Tufts 88 on Twitch. There is the link to the Facebook page. You can get everything you need there to join this league. Hopefully we will see you soon in the Mayhem Racing League. Yep, you're welcome. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in to watch the broadcast here on Intensity Broadcasting. As always, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. We are currently on the road to 2,000 followers on Facebook. We are I'm not sure if we hit 1.5 thousand yet. We were very, very close last I checked, so let's try to get it to 2,000. Going to, let's see, 1,000 on YouTube and Twitch still, so check us out on there. Got Twitter. We officially hit Hitty, so that, 30 on Twitter, so check us out on there, Intensity Broad 1. We're dropping polls. We can talk about racing, video games, anything you want on there. We love communicating with our viewers on there. Check us out on Twitter. Going to 50. And then last but not least, if you enjoy racing or iRacing, then and you have access to Roku TV or Fire TV, make sure to download the eRacing TV app, as it is the best app for racing or iRacing fans. 7 nights a week, there's iRacing action on there, including on Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Intensity Broadcasting's broadcasts are on there, including this broadcast. Tonight's Mayhem Racing League broadcast was on eRacing TV, so if you want us on your big screen, check us out, eRacing TV. I'm Atlee Atman Weasel on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next